From Charlotte, North Carolina, at a combined weight of over 660 pounds, Rody Rob, Adam Bomb, Bionic Brian, the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Who Won Wednesday on the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. My name is Adam Bomb. I am your host for the evening. I am alongside in the studio the only other member of the Wolf Pack, Rody Rob. What is up, bud?
Hey, man. Hey, how are you doing? It was a good wrestling night tonight, kind of, maybe. We'll talk about it.
All right, and somewhere, don't care where, Mongo McBiased, what's going on, buddy?
Hello, Adam. Hello, Robert. Hello, Board. Hello, everybody.
Are you feeling the hate I'm putting out to you?
Guys.
You never let him finish his self-intro. You always cut him off, like, right in his last sentence.
Yeah.
You're so mean.
It's all right. I'm used to it.
So mean, man.
I'm sorry, Brian.
It's all right, man. I didn't really have anything delightful to say. I'm in a good mood, though.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Daniel Price, Dyke Leather, Soji, some of the lieutenants over there on the board. Glad you guys are joining us. We got 9 rounds of action tonight to find out who won Wednesday. The big thing is storyline-wise, we got a lot of fluff, but we got a lot of really good matches, though, didn't we, Brian?
Yeah, on both sides, honestly.
The matches were quality, but you hear what I'm saying about the fluff. The stories, I don't know that they did their next chapter, if you will. We see where they're going, but did they take it to the next level of the feud, or did they just coast through the week?
I will say this. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but on the NXT side, I think they had the best promo. Definitely of the night. Definitely one of the best ones that I've seen.
Which one?
I'm not going to say.
Okay, we'll get there.
You'll know.
I want to echo your point, Adam. I thought, and your point, Brian, both your points. NXT, I thought, did win the promo wars tonight. And NXT, I thought, didn't just lose the promo wars tonight. I thought they lost them convincingly. When you say a lot of fluff, yeah, there was a lot of little 2-minute segments backstage that told us nothing about nothing.
Just to force someone on TV.
Yeah, that could have been combined to maybe another 10 to 15 or another 15 minutes. You could have put another women's match in there somewhere.
Or another 11-man tag match?
Oh, shut up.
Oh, dude. I'm just NXT.
Sorry, it's not even 11.
I don't know what their focus
14.
is. I don't know what their focus is in NXT. I think that's part of the problem with me is
well, you've said this. You've gone back and forth. There are some times where an episode is clearly focused on a division, and you love it because you know that the next week they're going to showcase a different division. Tonight, they didn't really go in any direction of a division. They kind of gave you just a nugget of each.
Tonight in AEW, they threw so much out there and so little spackled little irrelevant segments that I was confused about what happened tonight or what the main theme of tonight or what the big things being pushed tonight was because they pushed so much at you in an episode. And, yeah, you got 2 hours. That's great that it's not 3 hours. I don't want 3 hours. But with 2 hours, you don't need to shove everything in there. You figure out what is going to be fruitful for your program that night you deal with that. You throw some fluff on the side, but you don't throw every storyline and every minor storyline and everything you have going on in one episode of a 2-hour show. It's confusing.
And Brian, that's why we got 9 rounds to go over here, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but Soji points out on the board here, and I want to bring this up to you because I know you watched it.
YouTube Live.
No mentions tonight for Hard to Kill or even about the Bullet Club or Good Brothers or any of that.
No, that's not true. I think Don Callis did mention Kenny he mentioned him being on Impact, but I think you're right as far as them mentioning
Impact,
Good Brothers.
Yeah, that's booked. We saw graphics come out today. Why not?
Well, because that was on the Impact side, so I guess they're not necessarily showing it on the AEW side, or maybe
you
they have
just
different.
said it.
Different
Callis
ones?
can say it though.
Yeah, so
he could have said it. You should have. If you're gonna be so-called partners on this invasion or whatever the hell they're doing behind the scenes, they're obviously in agreement here to not have security.
I think you might have just missed it. I think they had to have said it tonight, man. I mean, they were talking about the promo, at least the promos. They were talking about it. Don Callis was.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
Good one.
Oh, that's terrific.
I just kind of wish it was more of an invasion angle. If they're going to do it more of an invasion angle and not just a theft, right? The head of Impact is stealing the champion of AEW.
Right.
That's all fine and everything, but why not bring in some of your talent as kind of your muscle when you do show up? Like, have the Good Brothers show up.
Maybe they need somewhere to build to. Rob, maybe that's why.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe this is just opening shots. It started in the women's division. It didn't start with Kenny. Anyway, here we go.
Wait, let me just say this real quick before you jump in. I'm sorry. Daniel Price, AEW is using Impact for promotion, and it's not really doing anything for Impact. It's not really doing anything for AEW. I'm sorry.
AEW has a strong enough. No, Brian, here's where I know I'll get you to agree with me.
It's going to get all 5,000
AEW
viewers.
has a strong enough roster that they don't need to import talent.
Correct. That's not really why they're doing a cross promotion.
As long as you admit that that's true. It is true. They don't need to import talent. I mean, we get mad at NXT for bringing one guy in, Pat McAfee. Every mark out there gets critical. This guy's taking a roster spot. But on AEW, it's cool. Everybody can come in. It's very weird.
It's totally different. They're not coming in to stay. Obviously, this is a whole cross promotional thing. That's why. I mean, this kind of answers your question from before. How come we don't see any of this on AEW TV? Well, that's why you have to watch Impact.
Let's.
You understand what I'm saying, Rob, right?
Let me throw a receipt at Brian real quick. Because he's like, well, they're not coming to stay. And you say that, but precedent says otherwise. Because
unless your name's Warhorse.
NWA came in, right?
That's different.
No, how is it different?
Because NWA stops, they ceased production. They weren't running or anything. This was just a way for them to get their belt, their wrestlers over while they're still in between. Now, they just started production on a new show. It's not Power. I forget what the name is. They changed the name.
Okay. It doesn't
now
matter.
that could start changing things. What'd you say?
They're still on the show now, is my point. So to say that, why would you not think the Impact showing up now would have them showing up later?
It's a good point. I guess we don't know. We'll have to find out, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be. Do you remember way back when? Too Cold Scorpio or Too Cool Scorpio, where ECW and WWE actually had a talent exchange. They could do something like that to go on Rob's thing to have a little invasion. Actually, have a legitimate talent exchange.
I'm all for it. I love it. I know you guys have your reservations, but
I just don't see how it benefits in the end. It's like if you're 7-Eleven and 3 mom and pop gas stations, control a small market. Oh, great. 7-Eleven can't get in there. You guys are controlling them. Doesn't mean that 7-Eleven's still not going to do everything they do across the globe.
Right.
So I mean, what's to gain here? They're not stopping WWE because they're not going after the same audience that WWE is able to maintain, which is only Fruity Pebbles at this stage. So that's the one thing. I don't know. I talked off air kayfabe to somebody who said that they're watching with their kids now and they're showing AEW to their kids, and it feels more like what they grew up with watching WCW. I think that's a bad thing. I think we've come so far from that. I think that's a step back to say that it's like WCW.
Wait, so whoa. So you want something like Fruity Pebbly in your words? You want?
I want something that truly caters to us, but not in the nostalgic way, Brian. If you want to do a reunion episode or a one-off, like, hey, we're going to do a Thunder tribute or whatever,
I
fine.
would fucking love that.
Yeah, that's fine. One time, maybe once a year. You can make it an annual thing, but I mean, this is just feels like, I don't know. It feels too much like old wrestling, and with new guys that are more capable than the old guys.
I got no problem with old wrestling. Old wrestling was successful wrestling.
I'm talking about from the booking angle. It didn't.
Yeah, sure it worked.
Yeah,
Why didn't it
it's
work?
tried and true, bro.
It doesn't work now because they moved away from it.
All right, fine. This is for me then.
You got all those Hollywood writers coming in there.
what's going on.
Let's just get to the rounds.
Go ahead.
I was trying to a minute ago. So we start off on NXT. We're gonna start there, Brian.
All right. I have no problems with that.
Yeah, brought to you by Phil. Kushida and Leon Ruff taking on Gargano and Austin Theory. Of course, Candice and Indy are there, which is like a weird foursome because I don't think Austin and Indy are a couple, but whatever, it's there. They're both dressed up as Ghostface for a minute, so who cares? It all works. Austin Theory still dumb, Rob?
Yeah.
But they get the victory.
Yeah, he didn't do anything tonight, one way or the other, dumb versus smart. They didn't really portray him in any light other than a douchebag, which fits naturally to him. So I
mean, it's a good match, but we know Kushida's the heir apparent number one contender to Gargano.
Right.
We know that they're doing rough here to keep him relevant as he goes away, but he's kind of having a little, feud with Theory, so this makes sense. It's a simple booking. And you just get Candice some TV time while she's got her broken arm.
Yeah,
so.
you basically just created a sacrificial lamb for Theory in Rough.
Right.
Give him some cred with the belt, bring him down to earth a little bit, let Theory beat him, he disappears. That way you give Theory a credible win under his belt, his really douchey belt.
Glenar's making a quick
changed
appearance.
His look up too.
You think he changed? Well, in what way?
No. I'm just saying he changed. He used to wear like the long when he was doing the Monday Night Messiah shit with Seth. Now he's just wearing like the short biker shorts. I mean, it's a small.
Yeah, I don't notice shit like that.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brian.
That's very specific.
Well,
Petty town.
Yeah. You don't look at guys' gear like.
I do, but not
girls'
that
gear,
specific. Yeah.
No.
Not
Come
gimmick.
on, bro.
Not gimmick versus gimmick. I mean, Monday Night Messiah versus what he's doing now is, different.
So on the other side, before we have a 14-man match, we have a 6-man match on the AEW side. Hangman and the Dark Order, who were all dressed like cowboys, trying to seduce him. That's a little clever. That's some fun. I don't mind that.
They had their little almost not as small Kurt Angle hats on.
Yeah, the cowboy hats.
Yeah,
almost comical.
Almost comical.
And then Matt Hardy and Private Party on the other side win here. Again, we're going to probably say this way too much tonight, but good matches on both sides here. I like the little touch that it's slightly different with the cowboy stuff here as Dark Order's trying to recruit him.
Yeah.
But they lose. So this feels weird. This is a deviation, Brian, from the other Dark Order ones where when they usually are trying to recruit somebody, that's when they win.
Yeah, but I mean, with this, we obviously knew that it wasn't going to work out in some capacity, whether it was Paige not coexisting with the two of them or vice versa. But in this case, they didn't win. However, I think the story that you didn't even really look at was the whole thing with Hardy and Private Party. Hardy tagging in and he like him putting himself before his teammates. Definitely on the heel path, I would say. I don't know about you guys.
I mean,
I'm not ready to
might
commit
be
to
on,
that.
Yeah, he might. This is the problem with AEW we talked about a couple weeks ago, but he might be on the path to feuding with Private Party. I don't know that makes him a heel or face.
I don't know. Just the vibes I was getting from Matt and just the way that he's. I know you guys don't watch it. You don't watch BTE.
No.
But Matt is definitely getting very cocky, and his attitude is definitely changing. It seems like he's going more of the
Rob,
heel route.
at the last frat party, he was a bit full of himself. So
Okay. No, I that's fine. And if he goes heel, I got no issue with that at all. I will say I do a lot of bitching lately, especially about AEW. A lot of picking apart. So
critical.
Critical.
bitching.
You're right. Critical. Fairly critical in my opinion. But I will give some props tonight Private Party, this is one of the – I haven't seen them in a match where they haven't exhausted me before, just with the constant movements and constant, everything. Tonight they were a little bit more pulled back, and I don't know if that was because of Hardy or because, Hangman, maybe he's a slower-paced wrestler than they're used to. But I enjoyed watching this match because they were pulled back a bit. They weren't on 11. They were more on like a 7 or 8.
Oh. And that's where they need to be. I mean, you need to have room to grow. If you're going to have a pay-per-view or a big match, you then go to 11. On a random Dynamite, it's fine to go in the middle. Anyway, time to vote. Brian, I'll let you kick it off. We'll see if I have to break the tie.
Let's go. You know what? I'm going to have to go with AEW on this one. I really like the combination of Silver and Reynolds with Hangman. It's fucking hilarious. And they really did do well in this match, even though they were on the losing side. I thought they showed some great teamwork.
Brian needs to be a Little League coach. I know you guys lost 13-0, but you guys really did good out there.
Yeah, they should get a trophy.
I'm really proud of you.
Everyone gets a trophy.
The chemistry we have to put up no runs was just excellent.
Yeah. I'm gonna go NXT on this one, and the reason why is first, take out my hatred for Theory, just put that to the side. But the concept of this little faction with Johnny and Candace, I'm starting to kind of like it because there's such. I'm using douchebag a lot tonight, but they're such douchey little people, and so narcissistic in a sense that their cohorts are each their own little bitches, right? Austin Theory is Johnny's little bitch, and Hartwell is Candace's little bitch.
So the key to a successful marriage is to each have your own little bitch.
Have your own little bitch, and I like that play. It's actually kind of fun, somewhat, and I also like the fact that this match kind of created a new angle for the North American title picture with Kushida. So that's fine. So that's why I give it NXT. AEW is fine. It was, the Hangman and Dark Order thing. I am interested to see where that's going to go. Matt Hardy and Private Party, that might be cool, Brian. But again, that's when you oversaturate me with storylines that I don't even know that's going on because it's so out of focus for me.
So I got to break the tie. And first off, Matt Hardy version 1 was the best gimmick still to me especially for a heel of his heel ones. But on the board, I want Brian to eat some crow as I make this vote real quick to break your tie. But Brian says in response to Stike saying he's losing interest in Matt Hardy, Brian says his issues starting and stopped so many different gimmicks. That is 100% true, Brian. And I'm glad you recognize that. I don't know why you wouldn't say it on air, and I have to read your comment from the board.
Well, I would have. I mean, you could have thrown it to me or pitched it to me or underhanded, assisted, something. No, right. It's fine. You can read it on the board if I put it on there. I'm trying to engage the board. But yeah,
Rob,
he also hasn't, I would just rather see him just commit to one, Yeah. I don't care what which it is.
So thank you for all of that, Brian.
Sure.
If you could mark the timestamp here,
sure,
Rob.
Sure.
Because here's the crow that I want Brian to eat.
No.
He's willing to say this about Matt Hardy, but he's not willing to agree with the point you made minutes ago. Minutes ago about how they need to pick a side, whether they're heel, face, or where they're going in that sense of direction. A character of Matt Hardy and picking one or the other is the same argument, Brian. You realize that, they have to pick a direction. Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't complaining about
with this. The
who was I
Bucks
complaining
are
about
heel.
picking a side?
I'm talking about the Hardy right here. You're complaining right here. Your thing. Check the fucking tape. I'll read it again. Because you didn't.
I wasn't saying heel or face. I was saying just.
I
one
know you
gimmick.
weren't, but it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
You have to see a gimmick through. Sorry, the Bucks being heel and beating up people backstage. You told us for weeks, just wait, see where it goes. Just wait, see where it goes. This is a good maturation of the character. Blah 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 blah. Well, guess what happened? They fucking pulled the plug and went right back to face. To Rob's point of they're not staying with anything consistency. Matt Hardy, your comment is the same parallel. Am I wrong, Rob?
True. No, all right. You're right when you put it like that.
No,
okay.
I think this is more a Matt Hardy problem than an AEW problem, and I say that because if you look at the two different blueprints for a long career that's had multiple gimmicks, and Taker and Jericho, in my opinion, are the two best blueprints for that. Long careers, Taker had one gimmick change, had his third gimmick, was back to his original but darker. He held that fucker forever, right? It wasn't a whole bunch of changes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Heel face, heel face, heel face. You know, it was gradual changes. Jericho changed his gimmick tons of times, but not every couple months, not fucking every couple of years.
He would run it like a year or two at least.
Right, and they were all gradual changes from the last, right? A gradual change. Matt Hardy's gimmicks, and I've loved them, have all been extreme opposites of what the previous gimmick was, in a sense.
In a sense, you're right.
You know, you can't go from, you know, broken or woken Matt or whatever they called him, where they called him, that to, you know, Hardy version fucking 2000.12.
I get your point.
So Matt Hardy's problem is that he has flipped from impossible gimmick changes so often in his career that now it's like, I don't even know anymore, bro. I like what you do. I love you, but I don't even know what you do anymore.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna break. I'm gonna break the tie by all that I said against the AEW side, and not only to agree with Rob's side about the little bitch faction there, but
little bitches.
But Kushida finally getting some love is going to push it over the top. I'm going to give the point to NXT in round number 1.
Yeah. Oh. It's also a product of the pushes they gave Kushida a couple months back.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they've built on it.
They built on it, let them lay low, jumped in.
Round number 2, we got promo versus promo. Let's see. We have Inner Circle. MJF got a New York Times award. For the Dinner Debonair segment.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a work or was this a legitimate award? I have to ask this. I mean, I'm sure if it was a legitimate award, no matter what, this is a work on TV here. But is this a real award? Because Jericho's playing up the jealousy here.
No, I'm pretty sure it is an award, but I think that they both got it, like, for this segment, to my knowledge. I don't know. Rob, can you weigh in on that?
Well, I'm sorry. My sister was texting me.
Oh.
What was the question? What was going on?
The Inner Circle with MJF getting the New York Times award.
Is it a real award?
No, but was it just for Jericho or was it just for MJF and Jericho?
Yeah, they gave it to him for his performance on the Dinner Debonair. And Jericho's all pissed, you know, fucking what, you know, it was my idea.
But is it a real award that was like, you know, okay,
yeah.
if we're in a movie together,
yeah.
and we both get nominated and I win and you don't, you know,
yeah,
it's my award.
Well, I know the New York Times is a real thing, and I know they give out awards, so I'm going to assume on those 2 points alone that it is real. But I did not watch the ceremonies myself.
Okay.
So I'm looking at it right now. It is very real. They do mention Chris Jericho in the little blurb that they wrote up about it, but they singled out Maxwell Jacob Friedman doing Me and My Shadow on All Elite Wrestling. Yes. That was like the headline. So.
And they gave him the plaque with his name on it.
Yeah. So we also have this is what Rob was talking about at the beginning of the show. There's nothing even on the NXT side yet. We have Eddie Kingston, Lance Archer, Butcher Blade, Lucha Brothers, Pac and Archer arguing. Cool.
Daniel Price says it's a work. New York Times panned it. It's always a work, man. Yeah. Everything's
okay,
a work.
But New York Times is involved in it, is what he's saying.
But it's a paper. They rely on advertising and you know, revenue to stay relevant. So yeah, just like you can buy an ad in a paper and have the story read like you saved a kid from a well, but you're just trying to sell your ropes at your store, right? Okay. And those are things that really happen.
Okay,
right?
I gotcha.
So in this case, AEW's like, hey, how about you write a story about this, and we'll fucking do that.
These are the candles we used at last week's vigil, and we found that kid.
Quid pro quo, motherfucker.
Another
Quid pro
AEW
quo,
promo we're going to blow
pro
through.
Quo. I don't even know. What does that fucking mean? What does it mean?
Quid pro for quo. You, for me. It roughly translates for, you know, for something for you, something for me.
Miro interviewed backstage, fine for last week. Huge announcement next week. Go somewhere, Miro. We all love you. We're waiting for you to explode. Do something here.
He's got a great announcement next week.
All right, so match number 2 on both cards. Here we go with round number 2 officially. Tyler Rust. Did I get that right?
Yeah, he looks like a poor man's
and
Pac.
Ciampa. Yeah. And then we have Cody and Angelico on the other side.
Angelico, great match.
Rob, I'm going to let you pick where you want to start.
We can go ahead and get NXT out of the way.
Okay, so this is just another. This is just it is what it is. They're bringing out Rust. You know he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
But we're getting introduced to him. This is that first time we see him.
Right.
You know, the little taste that we get.
The taste.
This is how we learned of who Swerve Scott is and all these other
Right.
people.
That's fine.
Yeah, and Ciampa is involved with Thatcher here, Rob. Last week you voted for a Thatcher segment. I just want you to check the tape and remember that.
Did I really?
Yeah,
I think I did it out of spite. I don't think I did it because I meant it.
you did.
I voted for it because it was a Ciampa match.
Correct.
Yes, not because of Thatcher.
I wonder if it's going to win again.
So here's my thing. He put the chair out there, invited to come sit down in the chair. He fucking he comes down, but he doesn't sit in the chair.
You've been fucking bombing a lot tonight.
There's a little the other Rust runs into him. Then he gets pushy with fucking Ciampa Brian, and the refs come out, and Thatcher acts like he can't fight through the refs, but he clearly can, and then it gets pushed back to the locker room. I'm just kind of like, I thought he was done with that Thatcher. You beat him at the last pay-per-view. It didn't feel like that story had more angles to tell.
I didn't even feel it had enough angles to get to War Games.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a stone on a stepping stone path to Ciampa just beating the shit out of all these guys who think they're tough backstage of the new generation, working his way to the title again. I didn't think this was going to be, let's keep
Maybe
doing
they're
it with-
waiting. Maybe they're waiting because Cross is there now, and they don't want to go right back to Cross and Ciampa, so they're waiting. Because they're doing Cross and Priest, and they're doing Ciampa and Thatcher. They're going to blow them off, and they'll lead back to each other.
Yeah, I think you could do Thatcher, and then he can go after somebody else. You do these little week feuds, these little 1 month feuds.
I got to say though, this match was pretty good. It went a lot longer than I thought it would.
Oh yeah.
And really, I thought this was a good way of getting Tyler Rust, because he was one of the guys that just signed in their recent class that they just announced like not even a month ago. So
and we didn't even have to watch Dark to see it.
TV already.
Yeah, that's record time getting called to TV. If
Right?
it's only a month
So too.
But Brian, we didn't have to watch Dark to see a quality match for Tyler Rust. If NXT wants us to care about this guy in the long term, they have to do him justice to introduce him here, and that's what they did. They had Ciampa, a seasoned veteran, carry him through this match. It did go longer than expected, but this is a good introduction to him. I know this is going to sound like me bitching again about AEW, but I don't want to watch a 5-second match on Dynamite, and you're going to lure me to watch his good match on Dark. If he has a good match, put it on fucking Dynamite and make me watch it there. That's your flagship.
Yeah, put your Miro promos on fucking Dark. Yeah.
You want to do your bullshit and stuff like that? I mean, do it over there.
Yeah.
You guys are just Dark haters, bro.
No, I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
I'm
You don't
a
have enough
time
time.
hater.
I don't have enough time. Yo, you can't watch it when you're taking a shit. All right, that's like 15 minutes, twice, maybe 3 times a day.
It's
I
a
don't know,
2-hour show.
No, rephrase it. It's not that I don't have enough time. It's I don't want to commit more time.
Yes.
I already commit a lot of hours to wrestling per week, even without a podcast. If you're watching all this, you're committing a lot of hours to wrestling per week. There is a lot more to life than professional wrestling. As much as we jab about it here, I have a lot more things in my life I'm interested in than this. So.
On the board, Daniel Price has a good point. He says, I think they're going to save Ciampa to take Goldie from Cross. They could do that down the road later, and they don't want to blow their wad.
Oh, I think it's an obvious path.
Yeah, that's a good point. On the other side, for AEW, I almost said TNA. For AEW, we got Cody and Angelico. Half of Hybrid. He's the one who looks like Shaggy from the neck up, and
Like yank scoops.
looks like, I don't know, a stick figure from the neck down. I'm sorry, he's just a weird looking dude. Team Taz, he looks like the dodgeball guy that fell in love with the Russian girl. Anyway, Team Taz comes out after the match, of course. This is an odd one, Rob. Sting, he comes and shuts it down, but says nothing and leaves.
Well, it's another thing where, Taz comes out running his mouth, and he's good at running his mouth, but, you got to say something sometimes when you run your mouth. Not just, Cody's going to be a dad, huh? Oh, okay. Well, this guy didn't get a shout-out when he was a dad, and this guy didn't get a shout-out. And you know what, up there in the balcony?
Wait, Brandy's pregnant?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, man. They had a whole promo.
I missed it.
And such and such up in the fucking balcony, we're going to kick your fucking ass, too. And Cody, we're going to come in here and kick your ass now. And then Brian, you get Sting comes out, looks at him with a bat, and then the fucking segment's over. I mean,
I was trying to figure out. I was like, after it aired, I was watching something else, and I was trying to think. I was like, what? How the fuck did that Sting end? Like what? And that was the complaint. I think last week or whatever it was, or maybe what was it last week when he came out and he just like Team Taz just disappeared. Like he didn't fight them away. He didn't fight them off or anything. They just left. And then the same thing kind of happened again tonight.
Yeah, I'm like, you got 5 like or at least 4 in your prime fucking swole fucking dudes in Taz, and then you got a guy in his 60s with makeup on. Now, I'm not trying to degrade Sting. Sting's one of my heroes of wrestling, but to tell me that you're now intimidated and you're gonna walk away without a fight seems unrealistic for me, and I can't buy into that kayfabe.
Especially if you're supposed to be the tough guys.
Right. I mean, I get the heels stick their tails between their leg and they run away. That's what they do no matter how big or bad they are.
But not when the odds are in their favor.
Not what they – it shouldn't have been that they just – them leaving was okay. Okay, them leaving's okay. If Sting comes out with some different kind of muscle, when there's more muscle with him, or, he comes in a ring and beats all their asses real quick and Cody
or at
jumps
least hit someone with the bat. One of them.
Something. If you're just gonna bring Sting out and parade him, for 5 seconds every Wednesday, here he is. There's not. He doesn't do anything in the meantime. I don't want that Sting. I don't want that Sting. I want a Sting. I want to see him involved either in management, in commentary, or in the fucking ring.
All right. Well, here's what DP says, Rob. Would you want this Sting? He says because he thinks they're trying to build Sting going against the NWO with FTW being the NWO this time.
He's gonna puke!
I see that.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't see Team FTW like growing.
No. But I mean, Team Taz is the FTW
Sure.
there. I mean,
Yeah,
Team
I guess.
Taz
I mean, they've got
is
4
representing
members,
the
so.
NWO.
A Sting alone man versus the faction is basically what that is.
Right.
The difference is NWO was a recruiting faction, like a virus that was spreading through WCW, and Sting was the one. He was the Rock of WCW, fighting against this infectious virus that was taking everyone into its ranks.
Every faction has recruited 2 members in recent months.
Yeah, but NWO was different. NWO was like they were like a vacuum of recruits.
I'm just saying though. Dark Order's gotten 2.
You're right. No, you're right about that.
But
I'm just
the family got 2.
Yeah, but just to the point of Brian, I think you agree here. Comparing Sting and FTR to Sting and NWO, I get where you're going with the angle, but the comparisons I think way far off because of details, Brian.
And we're gonna have
I'm with you.
6-man tag match for sure. Team Taz against Sting, Cody, and Darby.
Yeah.
Look that. Anyway, let's vote.
Yeah.
Rob, I'll let you go first this time. Ciampa and Rust, Cody and Angelico.
I'm gonna go Cody and Angelico. It's a really good match. It really was. I was actually surprised because I haven't really paid a lot of attention to Angelico, but it was really good, and Cody worked really well with him. It was a fun match to watch.
Brian?
All the points Rob just said, plus it was kind of cool with them how they announced that they're pregnant, so that was kind of nice too.
Yeah.
All the points you both just made, but Rob, for me, when we saw them live, we got to see Hybrid there, and they're great heels. In terms of I fucking hate their characters.
Yeah.
But they're both really, really good workers.
Oh,
and
they are.
This was a good spot. I mean, this is what I was talking about, Brian, to go against the Tyler Russ. You really showcased Angelico here.
Yeah, you know
Definitely.
what? And just to tie a ribbon on it, you really showcased his submission styles, Brian. I mean, I didn't consider him to be a submission specialist, but
Absolutely,
he
good
was
point.
dropping them in there left and right. I was like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah, that's kind of his thing. He kind of mixes that with a good blend of like high flying stuff. So he's a really interesting.
But I've never seen him do
wrestler.
anything like that, honestly, just like Rob said.
Yeah,
I didn't know he had that in his arsenal, so to speak. Anyway, so 1-1 going on to round number 3. Sorry. We have a promo package versus a promo package. We got a interview backstage with Dustin. He's going to kick Dark Order's ass. 7 was a bad idea years ago and also last week. On the other side, grizzled young veterans, blah, blah, blah. I feel like, Brian, you watched more NXT UK than I did, but the Grizzled Young Veterans, I feel like they're taking the exact same path they did on NXT UK, just hoping that the audience isn't going to remember.
To be honest, no. I think you're a little bit wrong. I don't really watch all that much NXT UK, if I'm being honest. So I really don't know too much about them. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I mean, I guess I'm intrigued that from the promos that they're showing. I'm intrigued about them, but can't really give you that much expert analysis on that one.
They're trying, Rob, to build back up their tag division. They got it. It is the one division that is very lacking on NXT's character side of things.
And I don't think they're really close to bringing it to where it once was, but they're definitely on the right path. And tonight's focus was North American and women's. That was tonight's focus was with a spattering of tag and main title. More main title meaning more cross, right? Spattering. But they're definitely making little moves in the tag division, and once their tag division episode shows up, I think there might be some big movements that we might enjoy. So we'll see.
Okay, so on the vote, man, it's tough.
The vote.
I'm gonna see if I have to break the tie. Brian, you go first.
What were they again? Which ones? The
Dustin versus the Grizzled Young Vets.
I picked Dustin. Remember, I picked AEW here.
Dustin. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to go with Dustin. He was pretty fired up. This just being kind of a secondary promo, and I'm sorry, a secondary feud. I thought he was pretty fired up. I thought it was a really good promo.
Wait,
were you changing your vote?
I got behind. I thought we were talking about the last segment. I'm sorry. So it was Dustin and what's the NXT
and Grizzled Young Vets.
Grizzled Young Vets, I'm going to give it to NXT because it's introducing new talent, trying to build them up. Dustin didn't say anything, except the 7 comment was funny, but he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat your ass.
Rob wins on the argument there. NXT's up 2-1.
And your ass. And your ass.
Putting over 10.
And your ass. And
Next up, we've got this might be an easy one, but let's run it down anyway. We have 14 guys in a match on the AEW side.
How can we make a brawl?
Rob, I just want you to be quiet for a minute. Let's just let Brian start with this one. Best Friends, Varsity Blondes, Top Flight against Inner Circle. Brian, go.
Adam, well, I just want to correct you first. It was actually a 12-man tag team match.
OC wasn't in it?
No, he was on commentary. Also, he had commentary, but he was wearing headphones and nothing was plugged in, and they were pointing it out, which was hysterical. You guys dog on big group tag team matches. I really didn't hate this one.
Any week there's no brawl, they do one of this fucking great.
Yeah, and this was the stuff that I know. Did you guys hear about what JR was saying about criticizing wrestlers while he's doing commentary? And apparently a lot of AEW wrestlers were they were rubbed the wrong way a little bit about it. And Brandon Cutler was actually one of the ones that tweeted about it and kind of poked fun, like not so much a jab at JR, but kind of like being just almost kind of like a, I don't know, like a fucking arrogant asshole, because he knows he's not going to get fired because he's like boys with the Bucks. So he's not the one that should be responding like that. You guys, you really didn't see it? I'll have to send it to you guys.
Yeah, no, I would love to see it. So
Brandon Cutler,
let me just make sure
definitely a must watch for me.
Make sure I'm getting exactly right. JR is being critical of the talent on AEW.
Yep.
And they're saying, whatever, old man, what do you know?
Yeah, you should be putting us over. Like that's what they were their argument is you shouldn't be making fun of us, or you shouldn't be talking shit about us.
You know, I get in my kids' asses sometimes for doing shit the wrong way. It's not because I don't love them and I don't want them to be successful. It's because I want them to do it the fucking right way. And if JR feels like criticizing them because of this, that, and the other, it's because JR wants them to be better.
I mean, that's why we're criticizing them. We want them to be better.
Exactly right. So all these little sensitive little bitches can just I'm sorry, that's the AEW generation of that locker room. It is a bunch of the culture. I think it's a culture more than anything. It's the whole whiny, don't criticize me, fucking blah, 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 blah.
We know what's best.
Yeah. Daniel Price says JR said he was tired of them gathering outside for the catch a guy dive spots.
Right.
That's fair. We all are. They're not set up well.
He
the camera and production crew doesn't do it right. They show them all gathered and standing and waiting and looking.
My problem here is that I think an 11-man tag match or 10-man tag match, I think should be a 12 man. I think should not necessarily a unicorn, but it should be a pretty rare event on any wrestling program. This should be a big reason why this is going to happen. You know, DX versus fucking The Nation. Oh fuck, that's awesome. You know, that's amazing. But when you give these matches to
Not
me,
3 tag teams against a faction.
yeah, if you give me these matches 3 times a night every fucking week, the meaning of it is completely lost, and it's just your attempt to put people on TV.
And Brian, if this was the Best Friends in OC in a 6-man tag against the faction Inner Circle, those are 2 teams that have been built over, however long. Makes perfect sense. The Varsity Blondes and Top Flight are barely graduated from Dark, and they're just thrown in here just because.
Yeah, you could have done the all the MJF shittery, taking the pin at the end and all that. You could have done that with a 6-man tag match or even a regular tag match. You didn't need to do all this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think just to spin zone it a little bit, maybe it was just to kind of get over those new tag teams that they have. Top Flight,
which is what we're saying.
Varsity
You should have done them in separate weeks and put them in legitimate matches.
They decided not to, and they decided to do it all in the same night. So
and that's why we're being
only,
critical.
Am I the only one that feels like the Bucks are recruiting the tag team division for AEW, and they're trying to recruit everybody who's as close as possible to their style?
I thought you were going to say their size.
Well,
That's a good point.
No, their style. I mean,
Their
everybody
style so that they can work with.
Yeah, everybody coming in, their style. FTR came on their own accord. They paved their own fucking path and got in. And besides them, everybody in SCU, they've got some tenure. They can say got them in the door. But
Daniels is one of the boys.
All these new tag teams, man, they're all like replicas of Bucks, and I just don't think it's good.
Anyway, on the NXT side, number 1 contenders match. We said earlier in the night that there was some good wrestling tonight. Fucking Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne. Brian, I every time I see Kyle now, ever since he kind of got to be this solo guy and not part of the tag team of Undisputed, he just keeps going up in stock in my book.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of a little bit surprised that that he got the win here, but I'm very excited to see Kyle O'Reilly against Finn Balor.
Part 2.
Yeah, and it is a little weird because I am a little bit sad that Pete Dunne was the guy that had to be on the losing side of this and had to put over O'Reilly in the feud. But I mean, I'm more excited for Kyle O'Reilly to be in this spot because we're not doing predictions yet, but I mean, I don't know if he's gonna be the guy to have the belt in NXT, but it'll be nice to have him in the.
He had such a great match, Brian, though, with him before that maybe he sold his stock, and they're like, and the whole. I mean, even if he doesn't, the whole Finn could go dirty to save his title. This guy broke his jaw. Finn could just go batshit crazy and get revenge.
True.
Yeah, the problem with O'Reilly is if being a champion was only about your performance in the ring, then yeah, he could absolutely hold a title and be successful. But unfortunately, it's not. No. Being a champion in wrestling requires all of it. You got to have all of it. And O'Reilly doesn't have all of it when it comes to his promo skills, the way that his demeanor, his acting, the way he holds himself in situations.
I don't know about that.
No, I
disagree with much you, better. Yeah, I disagree with you too.
His promo last week when Finn walked out of the ring was childish. You're going to have him compete for the title, but his promos are childish.
I disagree.
At a certain point, really? You think going for the main title can be?
I think the Undisputed has had a little bit of a childish effect, and I don't think that I didn't get that vibe from his promo. He
literally responded to Pete Dunne last week. Pete Dunne said something in his accent. I'm gonna make something up. I drove the car down the street. And then O'Reilly's response to that was, I drove the car down the street. What is even that? What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm like...
That's a total Undisputed Era response.
But he's going for the title. Michael Cole as a champion...
Adam Cole
as a champion didn't do that.
Michael Cole's not even a champion to his wife.
Put the childish things away. You're going for the big belt, young man. Let's put some stature to it.
Sorry, Michael Cole.
Yeah, that was very mean. I was like, whoa, holy shit.
Yeah,
man.
My bad. But
5.
But it's a good swerve, right? It's a good swerve. I think everybody had their money on Pete Dunne here. And to put Kyle over is good booking as far as swerviness. Final point, and I'll let you hit your button again, okay? Going back to the tag divisions in AEW, I was thinking about this old wrestling divisions, WWF, WCW, NWA. Is the problem with AEW is all their tag teams, I just said it a minute ago, are all the same. A good tag team division should have its role players, right? Demolition was the Brute. Rockers were the High Flyers. Heart Foundation was the Technicians. The anybody under Fuji was the fucking cheating heels. I mean,
the Bushwhackers were the jobbers.
Right. Fucking British Bulldogs were massive. They were big guys. But every tag team had its own gimmick and its own direction in successful tag division eras. When you have everyone as high-flying, jumpy, flippy shit, then there's no diversity of ideas or entertainment at that. So.
All right, so it's time to vote. NXT gets my vote. I'm just gonna go right out there. Sorry, I don't like the hodgepodge on the other side, and I thought Kyle and Pete definitely brought it. Brian,
hard to argue with you. Awesome match on the NXT side, so I'm gonna vote NXT.
NXT.
All right, NXT's up 3-1. Next round is two promos. Side by side, Xia Li and that other guy who I can never remember his name continued to be tortured by the evil master Chinese. Is it dude or I can't even tell. It looks.
His name is Boa.
Oh, it is his name. But who's the one that's the master? It feels like that's a female at times, and then other times I'm thinking it's a
grasshopper. You beat him. Well, she made him beat him up, Brian. She made Xia beat him up while he was on his knees.
Okay, so it is a she.
It is, yeah. There are rumors that it's who is it? She just signed with it's what was her name? Maiko Satomura, I think her name is. Sure. Maiko, yeah. They just signed her to the to NXT.
Yeah.
But she's a veteran. Like she's someone that like she could just be like in a managerial role,
for years.
not so much like a wrestler.
Wrong show.
Look, I like this. I mean, it's different and it's kind of weird, but it's great production. Number one. And number two, it's given a good backstory for Xia Li. Say what you want about her.
Makes you feel bad for her.
No, I like it. I like that they're giving it.
You don't feel bad for her situation. You're like, yeah, beat her ass.
I do.
I mean, but it's. I mean, that's clearly.
I want her to win in the end.
I do want her to win in the end, but right now she's being tortured in a Kill Bill fucking karate dungeon. That's the thing. She's being...
This was the promo that I was mentioning before. I thought this was like the most. This was like fucking serious.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I said it last week when they did it, but they just went. They keep going further and further with it. I'm like, holy shit!
I think next week it's gonna feel like Hostile, Brian.
Seriously, like this is so. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's NXT. Like there's they're doing very silly stuff. Like we didn't talk about it, but the whole Dexter Loomis thing and him painting, live on the show. And then you have this where it's like super serious. They're like both fighting against their will. It seems.
The other thing, Brian, Rob, you said, and last week I agreed with you. You said Kill Bill.
Yeah.
No. This week is something different, man. I think we're on a path to something different. Like I said, I think we're going more toward the Hostile end here. We've passed Kill Bill. That's just my take. On the other side, we have a rare women's appearance because we're going to get a match in a little bit. So it's more than one woman booked on the AEW side.
Oh.
Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, and Britt attacks Thunder Rosa. So Britt Baker's going to challenge the champion of another company. Right, Brian?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the way that it seems.
That's the way love goes.
Right? Maybe.
Yeah.
That's your contribution?
I belong here because
Are you saving your good stuff for the All Elite Hour?
No, which airs usually every Friday or Saturday or Sunday whenever we record. It's a floating show.
Or sometimes you just put two up there.
Yeah, I do.
Was offended that Thunder Rosa said Britt Baker had a big nose.
That's it?
That's it.
my biggest thing, I think I texted you guys in the group chat. The fucking, and I know she's not an in-ring wrestler. I know this is kind of being nitpicky, but man, afterwards, Vicky Guerrero, when she was like laying in the kicks and the punches, it looked like she was like sweeping fucking dirt on that. Like it wasn't even a kick.
Like
you have
that
to go back and
manager
watch.
thing when you do it to the umpire, you kick dirt on him.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. That's
Are you
what it
jumping
looked like she
forward
was
to the
doing. I'm
match?
like, whoa.
Oh, you're jumping forward to the match there. I thought we were talking about Britain.
Yeah, he was talking about. Yeah, he's jumping forward.
Yeah, you're jumping forward to the other women's segment.
I heard women.
Remember, there's two segments this week, Brian. There's two.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not used to it. Holy shit.
Well, it wasn't really two segments. There was a segment
anyway.
in the backstage. Yeah.
So Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, or Xia Li and Boa. Rob, vote.
I'm gonna go to the Xia Li thing. It's fascinating.
Okay. Brian.
Xia Li, I shed a few tears. Actually.
4-1 NXT is kicking ass. Brian is letting it happen. Phil, you listening? On to the next round. We got some fun here. We got some fun.
What?
Conspiracy.
What's fun?
Let's start with the women. Indy Hartwell versus Shotzi. Shotzi won by DQ because Indy hit Shotzi with the trophy of Shotzi. Kind of irony there.
Love it.
On the other side, we have a women's tag match, so we can get even more women on tonight. Don't have a one-on-one. We have Ivelisse and Diamante. They've been teaming up before and are definitely an alliance or friendlies, Brian. They're taking on Big Swole and Serena Deeb. And after we have Nyla Rose attacking.
Yeah.
And Rob, do you have it ready? Who came with the assist?
Red Velvet in her civvies, looking tasty, looking good. Red Velvet looking good.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rob's had his little moment. So now, Brian, you can discuss your whole Vicky Guerrero comments.
Yes, that was just my nitpicky moment. It was that it didn't I mean, I know she's a manager. Again, I know she's not a wrestler, but still, you should be able to throw a fucking kick. You should be able to throw like a stomp or something. Like
You come from a wrestling family. Your brother-in-law, your ex-husband, widowed husband, whatever he is now because she's remarried. Your daughter is training, isn't she, Brian?
She's a wrestler also, Adam. She will be at
I was going to give you a plug here. That's
she's going to be at Global Syndicate Wrestling February 20th. Go to GSW_pro on Twitter.
Is somebody from Marked Out going to be there?
Yeah, I will also be there. I will also be the ring announcer for this show. So it's going to be available on Fight TV live also. So yeah, you can watch it live. You don't have to go through the trouble of going to the event. You can if you want, if guidelines are available. If we can.
I'm rooting for you to replace Justin Roberts.
Rob, I'm just so proud of our first graduate of the Marked Out Dojo doing so well for himself.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
He is the original pupil. Our training and tutelage to get Brian to this level is what made us decide to create the Institute.
I'm telling you.
It's very true.
It's fantastic.
Now coming down the aisle. That's why like the whole Boa and like Xia Li thing, like I feel for that because that's how the dojo was.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Price is golf clapping for you on the board. He also says Rebels working punches are terrible. All right, so time to vote. Shotzi and Indy continuing kind of from War Games on there, probably because Candace can't go, so they're doing what they can. And then we have Big Swole and Serena Deeb winning on the other side. Brian, you vote first.
Oh boy. You know what? You guys dog the AEW women's division, so I'm gonna have to support it on this one. Even though I was talking a little bit negative about Vicky's punches, again, she gets a pass, so I'm still gonna give it to AEW.
All right.
I'm torn here because on one side I gave the points to them earlier tonight because I do enjoy this little group they got going on with the little bitches. And Shotzi and her tank always are a highlight of any Wednesday night for me because I enjoy her as a talent.
Yeah, but they're going against your girl,
Indy Hartwell.
No.
Oh, and that's where I'm torn. On the other side, we had a Red Velvet sighting.
Are you this kind of torn?
No.
That's the wrong song.
Yeah, it's the wrong song. But Red Velvet only got a minute of it. at the end, or a second of at the end.
Yeah, she just came in.
So I got to go NXT.
But you got to see her in her civvies.
I did. I enjoyed
Civvies?
that. Civvies is a military term. It's the regular people clothes as opposed to your uniform.
Yeah.
Oh, civvies, like civilian.
Yeah, civilian gear.
I'm
I thought you were
glad-
saying skivvies. I was like, she was in her underwear?
No,
What?
yeah.
No.
I just thought that would have been weird.
All right. Anyway, so we're split. Or no, you both voted for AEW. I don't have to vote. NXT
No,
4-2.
I voted for NXT.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
He did?
I did. I went NXT.
Well, I'm going with AEW.
Yeah.
On the other side, I never vote for the women.
Whatever.
They get a
You always vote for the NXT women.
cookie. No.
Oh, you're giving AEW women a cookie?
AEW women.
Yeah, I'm giving them the cookie.
I bet you
tonight.
Vicky eats it all.
That's not.
Oh, that's mean. I know. I'm sorry.
Next up, Karrion Kross. Obvious setup in his promo for Damian Priest, but for now, he's just going to beat the shit out of Desmond Troy real quick. That was fun.
Fucking quick.
Yeah.
I was like, blink. Oh.
And on the other side, the match also starts with a promo, a.k.a. rap battle between the Acclaimed and SCU. Acclaimed, I mean, would you call it an upset, Brian, getting the win over here over SCU? I mean, original
I was
tag
actually
champs?
I'm with you. I thought that it was very surprising that they beat SCU, but I guess they're continuing their push with them going against the Bucks. What is it for next week? Is that what they know? Or for New Year's Smash? Or no, for the holiday episode. I don't know. They have so many different weird episodes going on.
Yeah.
There's New Year's Evil and there's Holiday Bash. And
No, but
if
there's
you
also
go to
New Year's-
markedoutgear.com, you can take advantage of the new stuff we got on there. We've got the Angry Elf Happy Holidays Christmas shirt. Take
Sweater.
advantage of that
Christmas
one.
sweater.
Christmas sweater.
Mhm.
And then we also have the Bomb Squad. I Jewish Star Bomb, a.k.a. I Love Bomb. Check that shirt out. Celebrate Hanukkah in style or celebrate Christmas with the Spaghetti Monster Rob. Either way, you can't lose.
Yeah.
Markedoutgear.com. Everything is on sale right now, I believe. Is that right, Brian?
Is it?
Rondo's got what
still?
plants crave.
You've got
Yeah, it still is actually. Yeah, you're right. It is. It's 21% for the year 2021.
All right. That's a good thing. Anyway, so it's a holiday episode, which is after the NBA game, is what Stike is clarifying. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, that's what it is. Holiday. It's like Holiday Bash, I think it's
I
called.
just said that. I literally just said
No, check the tape.
I'm going to vote first for a change here.
will.
I think the Acclaimed and SCU, the Acclaimed getting a push here. I think this is the way you build characters. I think they did it right with this segment, and I want to reward them for it. Plus, Cross is just, it's obvious. Paragon's joining us. He says, Jewish people and elves, so I'm in.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Hey,
He
what's
says-
up,
He
MJ?
says, son of a bitch, I'm in.
But Soji says the name Acclaimed is a horrible gimmick. Rob, vote. I got to vote in for AEW here.
What's on the Cross on the NXT side? I really enjoy Cross's entrance, but
I know why you enjoy it.
she doesn't do that for me like she does for you guys. I mean, she's a pretty girl.
What?
She's a pretty girl, but she doesn't blow me away.
Boo this man.
She's a pretty girl.
I think she's a very attractive.
She is an attractive woman. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't kick her out on the floor unless I was gonna do you know the saying. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go AEW.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just,
Wow.
All right, Brian, your vote is academic, but you can go ahead and give it.
I was gonna vote NXT, but if Rob is gonna vote for sort of voting for the Bucks, I have to vote also for the Bucks. So I'm gonna go AEW, so that AEW wins.
Is that rap thing? Is that gonna be a thing every week with them?
That's Max Caster's gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his thing. So I guess they were kind of putting it on.
Do you
Anthony
think
Bowens a
Kazarian's
little
ever going to rap again?
I don't know. He was pretty good. He was pretty good.
I was just thinking that. Yeah,
And Daniel Price says they're bipolar on pushing Scorpio Sky. He's responding to Peter on the board. He says SCU's been jobbing out a lot recently. Not surprised. I felt like this is why they have separated Scorpio from SCU, since they want to eventually push Scorpio and use SCU as mid-card jobbers. I mean, they had to deflate them. They were the first champions, so they've brought them back down to where they belong. So
I don't know if that's necessarily. I mean, yes, but I think it's more the company started. They had big names because of their longevity, their veteran status. You gave them some love for being there, gave them the title, and then now you put them kind of where they're at. They should be journeymen, kind of putting people over.
Well, Kaz and Daniels are. Scorpio's not reached his ceiling yet.
No, Scorpio should be vying for the TNT title much more than he is.
Yeah. I think if Sting weren't there, he should be going after Darby, but whatever.
Yeah.
So we've got a 4-3 battle as we go into our main event. Quick mention: Swerve Scott wants a rematch, and Everrise was there. Cool. So here's our main event.
Father of mine. Sorry.
That's Everclear, you idiot.
Where have you been?
Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm on the NXT side. Kenny Omega versus your favorite, Rob, Joey Janela.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and I couldn't agree more.
They have a no DQ match. Where do you want to start, Rob? Dealer's choice.
Joey's putting some LBs on, so good for him, because I don't know. I hate him.
At least he gets to take Instagram photos of his girlfriend.
I mean, we can start with NXT, I guess, and get out the way. I mean, Rhea and another great women's main event on NXT. Another great continuance to a storyline for the women, as they do when they do a women-heavy episode with Gonzalez at the end. So
they're obviously not done with Rhea and Gonzalez.
no,
I told you guys that last week. Check the tape.
And we all
told us. You did.
I remember we all kind of bitching, several months back. Well, what are they gonna do with Rhea now? What are they gonna do with Rhea? They took the belt from her, and then they fucking didn't move her up, and they punked her out to Charlotte and da-da-da. What are they gonna do?
Well, she did the Robert Stone brand thing for a little while. Now she's focused on Raquel.
Well,
I forgot about that.
And that's what I'm saying. But they went full. Here she is, a program with Tony coming out of War Games, and now she's going over to Gonzalez. I mean, I agree. She never should have lost the belt. But to say that, and I'm not saying you're saying it now, but to say that they haven't used her right, I think would be an incorrect statement.
Well, and now here's a thought process. As you were explaining it, it came into my head. Raquel pins Io at War Games.
Yeah.
Well, what if Rhea gets the belt back from Raquel after Raquel takes it from Io?
Probably. I see that eventually happening.
That they're stalling their blow off because they're waiting for Raquel maybe to take the belt from Io. Io's had it a long time. She's had it since In Your House back in fucking May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think she's starting to burn out?
No, I just think that if they want to pull this full circle, Io and Rhea are still very much involved. Have now had a friendship instead of a rivalry. You introduce Raquel, takes the belt. You've got a lot playing out there.
Yeah, and
you've got multiple contenders and multiple former champs. Something that NXT's women's division, Rob, has never had.
Oh no,
because they always get called up.
Yeah.
So now you have a lot of former champs vying for the title.
Well, you've had a 2-time champ on.
You have, but you know what I'm saying? Like, most of them got called up. Now you have a lot of former champs on the roster. You have Rhea, you have Ember, you have
Charlotte.
Charlotte's not on NXT. Fuckface.
Hey, she hasn't gone back yet.
I got your point. You don't need to run down, but I got your point. I'm just curious if Io releases the belt, if they'll move her up to main roster, and her and Asuka could be the tag team and win the tag belts. And
well, it looks like they're replacing Lana already. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was sad.
yeah.
If they just shit her out like they did Kairi Sane.
Yeah. So on the other side, Kenny Omega, Joey Janela, no DQ, Don Callis on commentary. Instead, he's going to go ringside because Tony says to Don, kiss my ass, you're not getting my microphone. And then at the end, after Kenny beats Joey, Pac comes out. Similar to Kingston and Moxley, Kingston said he was never eliminated, so Pac saying, hey, you never beat the guy who advanced in the tournament, so... here we go, a stall feud before we get to wherever Kenny's going with this. Because clearly they're doing a 6-man tag on Hard to Kill, Brian. Which really should be a one-on-one with the other 4 people, just ringside, just there as support. Just
but now it's cool because they're actually saying that they're referring to themselves as the Bullet Club, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how
even though they don't mention it here.
No, but on Impact they are.
Okay, but here.
Right, yeah, I don't know.
The comment earlier in the night was this feels very one-sided. Impact is, promoting AEW, But AEW doesn't feel like they're promoting Impact. I know it's part of the kayfabe with this, but
Right.
Callis should have at least brought the Good Brothers with him tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I think at some point we might see a little bit of crossover from Impact to what's that?
We better.
I hope so too.
It can't
the
just
thing
be
though
Don Callis and Kenny.
I did like in the main event though with Callis doing the commentary during the match. I always get a kick out of that, like talking shit while the match is going on a live like house mic, like you can hear it.
That was fun.
I thought that was kind of like how like Leo.
If you
Leon
don't
Rush
do
used
it
to.
too much, it's fun.
Leo Rush, what'd you say?
If you don't do it too much, it's fun. Because remember, Leo Rush is a great example. At the beginning, we were all like, "Wow, this is fucking cool. He's so entertaining," and then we're like,
"Yeah, no, I don't think
doing
this
it
is going to
again."
be a shtick. I think this is just kind of like a one-off thing." But about the match though, Janela it looked like he sat on Omega's face on that table spot towards the end.
Yeah.
When he gave him the leg drop, I thought that was pretty brutal. And then I hated the way that he sold. How Janela sold. I think it was on the V trigger when he had all 4 of his limbs up in the air.
Yeah.
Like he sold like he was a dead dog. I was like, come on, bro. That looks fucking.
This
it's
is
Janela.
This is fucked up to me, man.
It's Janela.
This is. I feel like because Joey is the one person who's been a little vocal, or to my knowledge, about his status with the company, and he deserves more. So you give him a main event here against your champion, and the guy can't even make sure that he delivers his end. Am I wrong on that, Brian? Like there was a reason they stuck him in a tag team with Sonny Kiss.
Well, I mean, the reason why he was put in this spot was just because, they needed someone just to fucking squash, really.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
but I also think that they were giving him a chance to prove that he can hang with somebody like fucking Kenny Omega, and he failed.
He's already had a match with Kenny Omega. They had that unsanctioned match, and that one was actually really good. That was almost like a year ago.
Let me make my point better. Earlier in the night, Cody fought Angelico, who proved that he could hang.
Mm-hmm.
He proved, and his stock was, to me, raised. For this, I already have Joey Janela at a low stock, and I think it went down further. The LBs, he can't fucking keep himself in shape. He doesn't know how to land properly, could injure people. I'm sorry to say, but I feel truly, Brian, that this was possibly Khan and company in the back going, Joey, here's your chance to prove that you belong at a level of at least singles competitors.
Could be. I mean, again, it wasn't like a total he didn't do it wasn't
No,
like
it wasn't
a
total
shitty
shit show.
job.
I mean, it was.
I
it
know
was
it
a good
wasn't
match.
a total shit show, but he clearly can't hang on that level.
No, nobody's going to argue with you there. I'm going to say a point of joy from. You know what? I'm going to say that as my marked up moment. Okay. See, I'm good.
Okay. So we still got marked out moments in Pettytown Awards coming, but this is our final segment. We've got to vote. It's 4-3 NXT going into this. Of course, we'll have the big vote coming up after we do this one.
Brian, can you make me a shirt that has a picture of Joey Janela holding a Nutella can? It's called Jutella.
What, a Telecan? What's a Telecan?
Nutella.
Oh, Nutella can.
He wants a Jewy Jutella.
Jelly Nutella. I feel like there already are shirts. I feel like Cornette made some anti-Joey Janela
if we
shirts.
say that I made the shirt, can we have a Jewy Jutella shirt?
Oh my God. Jewy Nutella or Jewy...
Jutella.
Brian, stop it. You're saying a hard
Jutella.
J. You know you can't say a hard J.
Ju.
Oh, really? Wait.
Ju.
No, I've been watching back the old Sunny episodes, and they
Oh, I was like, yeah, wait.
they said it's racist when you use a hard J. Anyway, it's fucking funny. I can't vote for Joey Janela. NXT with my vote.
Yeah, NXT.
All right.
Well, fuck you guys. I'm voting for AEW.
You would.
5-3 NXT takes the round scoring, but do they take the overall, guys? It's time to discover who really won Wednesday here. 5-3 NXT on the rounds. Who is your overall winner? I'm going to go to Brian first.
Oh boy. All right. Well, as far as overall winner, I am gonna have to go with, and it was close. This was close, but I'm gonna have to give the just the slight advantage to AEW. I'm still invested, and in fact, I watched the episode today. I watched Impact today, so I got to see what they're doing over there with the Good Brothers and Callis and Omega.
So now you watch Impact and Dark on Tuesdays. You watch Dynamite and NXT on Wednesdays. You avoid Raw and SmackDown on Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah.
And you watch NJPW and Ring of Honor every other second.
No,
Pornhub allows
I don't
you
really watch too much
He
time to hydrate.
He masturbates to PWG in his spare time.
Right.
No,
Right.
no. I have been watching a lot. Honestly, the most I've been watching is old WCW Thunder. That's what I'm all about lately.
Okay. All right. All right.
At least he's past his cheap seat phase.
I can't disagree with you more, Brian. I think it's a bloodbath tonight. I think NXT absolutely destroyed AEW.
Thank you,
for
Rob.
all the reasons that I could echo about, having too much shit and then too much fluff and too many storylines and not enough diversity in your divisions. And I'm talking about gimmick diversity. AEW just seems like it's all over the fucking place. It seems like there's no order at all.
It's like a reset every month.
It's fucking it's everywhere. There's so much going on. It's too much.
You're not
Daniel
wrong.
Price says if Brian ever hears Tetsuya Nato's theme on Pornhub, he will mark out in a whole new way. All right, I got to go with Rob. I'm going to be a little more succinct than Brian was, but probably as succinct as Rob. Very simply, they did a lot of good storylines work on NXT, and I don't mean good, but I mean better than the fluff on AEW. So there's my vote. All right, award time. I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to start with the marked out. The marked out for NXT, it goes to KOR Combat. That's right, Kyle O'Reilly. I do like the setup here. A little bit of revenge for the Jaw. I don't know that he's ready for the title, but I'm okay with seeing part 2 here, so I give it to that. And on the other side, Tony DeDon, kiss my ass. That was a good line. That's my marked out for the AEW. Brian, marked out.
You know what? I marked out at the end when Pac made his in-ring debut also. Not debut, but he came back. So that was kind of cool. I did not expect that.
Wait. Pac's been back for like a month, dude.
Yeah, he's been back, bro.
No, I know, but still, he wasn't on the show at all, and then all of a sudden he does the run-in towards the end. It's still nice to have him
So if somebody's
back.
in a main event and they don't show up until the end of the show because they're in the main event, do you mark out for them too?
What are you talking about? Well, if I haven't seen them on TV
I marked
forever.
out when Cutler came off, when the cameras turned
Hey,
off and
hey,
Cutler
you
started
asked
throwing
me,
T-shirts at
motherfuckers,
us.
what I marked out to. Okay?
You have
and I
seen-
marked out to see.
Okay, all right, you're fine. You get
All
to
right.
you can pick it, but you
This
have
is my fucking award.
you have seen him on TV.
Ninja, please.
Well, I just like seeing him on TV. That's all.
What you marked out
You're
for
marked
NXT?
out for NXT, so I can go to Rob.
Marked out for NXT was seeing the. Actually, you know what? It was that Karrion Kross promo
Okay.
post match. I thought that was pretty cool. He was staring down the barrel of the camera. It was fucking awesome. It's good having him back. in NXT.
and I'm a little blown up, but you did
Good
did
job,
okay.
Brian.
All that,
You earned
all
a
right.
butcher,
All that quality booking tonight in NXT, and you picked the promo.
right?
I'm ashamed of you.
Rob, marked outs.
Marked out for AEW is oh, that's my petty. Marked out for AEW is Kenny Omega. So during the Joey Nutella match, I like that. That's my new thing. They had the weapons. They had first you had the baking sheet, then you had the trash can. I hate it when wrestlers do the real heavy pulled back hits with fucking with shit like the chair. Like they kind of hit him like a check swing. Fucking Omega was fucking full force smacking the fuck out of Janela with those fucking baking sheets and shit. And I know the impact is minimal, but it sounded like a fucking bomb had dropped. I was like, yes, hurt that motherfucker. And NXT marked out moment was Shotzi's tank, man. Fuck yeah.
Oh, you always give it to the fucking
Fuck
tank.
yeah, I
loves
do.
the tank.
I'm consistent.
Petty Town's coming up on the board, marked
Unlike
out for
you.
Stike. He says, seeing Riley Ballard too, and AEW, my girl Britt. My Petty Towns are simple. And I just gave a marked out to Kyle O'Reilly in the Jaw revenge angle with Finn, but I'm also a little petty that Cross is not going after Finn now that he's back. You have my title. Seems like you should be going, but anyway.
You already got shit going on with Finn,
Right. And then on the AEW side, no Hard to Kill, no Bullet Club mentions, no Rich Swann, Motor City Machine Guns coming out. They had opportunities for everybody to come out, and instead it's the Lucha Brothers and Pac. I felt like that's under normal circumstances, I might have marked out alongside Brian, but no, it was like, that's not who I wanted. It's not what I wanted. So, Brian Pettytown.
Let's see. Pettytown for you know what? Pettytown for AEW is that we're not going to get a payoff. We're not going to see Shaquille O'Neal versus Brandy Rhodes now that she's fucking pregnant. So that match is off the table.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
don't like that.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
So now what? Now who's he going to face? Who's he going to face?
Joey Janela.
It'll be just like the Mike Tyson thing. They're just gonna forget.
Right.
It'll just go away.
Right.
Shaq and
Probably.
Joey Janela.
Yeah, Shaq's just gonna go away. Basketball season starting up.
Shaq versus Snoop.
Yeah, does it start like next week
Yeah.
or something where it
Yeah,
starts?
we-
Yeah, it
It's
starts
already
next
started.
Monday.
Yeah, the
It's
Hornets.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
My Hornets are kicking ass, man.
Yeah, next week they
Jesus.
have a game instead of Dynamite, so we're back to the
Great,
fucked
yeah.
up Dynamite schedule.
And my petty award for NXT was, I mentioned it before, but the whole thing with Dexter Lumis and him painting, and then the whole payoff was he announced that he's going to be hosting
Yeah.
New Year's Evil. I'm like, come on, that's
Yeah.
fucking-
I thought
no
Lewis is going to
match.
be Ciampa's next target. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, and Thatcher could be the host.
It's funny because it's true.
All right, Rob, Petty Towns.
Pettytown for AEW, when Acclaim did their little rap at the end of the match, Brian, and he's like, and he makes this quote, that's a mic drop, but he doesn't drop the mic. If you're gonna call a mic drop, you got to drop the mic.
That's true.
That's law. That's
true.
Fucking law.
Even I know that.
And my Pettytown for the NXT side is Shotzi's tank with no missile. Why give us the missile at War Games and never bring it back? I
This
want
is
the
Roderick
missile.
Strong, and I approve this message.
Wow.
100% agree, Rob.
Yeah.
Let's see. Late marked outs on the board. Soji says, although scattered brain booking, I like seeing the different new talent showcased tonight. NXT and Riley. And Stike says, Pettytown NXT, Everrise promo, AEW getting Cody getting 3 different segments. Yeah, Cody's worth it. Even Taz calls him out. They think it's funny. And then Pettytown for DP, Cody coming out of the centerpiece all the time. That's his thing. He's the main event. Soji
Yeah.
Pettytowns, he says, AEW got Kenny on Impact, and the next day we get Kenny being challenged by Pac, a tale of 2 different Kennys. That's what I said. Somebody else should have come out. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Tonight's show has been brought to you by patreon.com/MOWP. Go on there. $9.98 is a subscription monthly. Support us. That's roughly $3.33 for each one of the marked out panel here. The Jew needs it, so. And Brian, he's got to pay rent on that cave he's living in, so you know.
No, I'm actually in a shanty. It's down by a river.
Oh, so you've upgraded.
Oh, she did
Yeah,
shoot a
it's
missile.
nice.
Oh, so
Upgrade.
Stike says that she did shoot a missile, and I just missed
No,
it.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it, Stike.
I didn't see it
I think
either.
you're full of shit. That's what I think.
Anyway,
I think
guys,
Stike Leather is full of shit.
thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. We will be back for Monday with the Marks on when? Monday. Unlike, let's just check the tape, Rob. Your show on Monday.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
Monday with the Marks.
yeah,
My show on Wednesday is Who Won Wednesday.
yeah.
Brian's show, the All Elite Hour, is whenever.
Whenever.
Yeah, well,
And
because
it's not
when
even
you-
an hour.
No, it's usually like an hour and 11 minutes, an hour and 12 minutes. There's just so much to talk about. We have a lot of fun when we're on. So
Brian, so nothing about you. Our shows have some facts in the title. Yours is just a lie.
no, you're not a mark. Rob, you're not a mark either. I'm not a mark. No, we're all marks.
We're all targets for that missile. The real marked out goes to Lamar Jackson. What a game.
Didn't he have the shits? Wasn't that why he left in the fourth quarter?
I think so.
Isn't that why he was running so fast?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty like there's video of him running into the locker room. You can see it. He's doing the shit shuffle.
Hey, anyway, thanks for that, Brian.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah. On that note,
dirt,
Yeah,
dirt
right?
sheets for real
on
there.
that note, wear a mask and wash your hands.
Yeah, tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
I'll catch you on the ding dong. Marked Out Podcast is produced and edited by You Record Studios and is recorded live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Subscribe, follow, and listen to us live following WWE programming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Download the podcast by following us at podbean.com or subscribe on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and give us an honest and fair review and rating. Finally, if you have enjoyed our product and would like to see us grow, please donate to us by visiting the donation link below our live video, or you can donate via Venmo and Cash App at the handle Ravepro. That's RAVEPRO.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.